Have you ever had the feeling that your work is changing, but no one is explaining to you what is really happening? As if, suddenly, what you do no longer has the same value as before. As if I were becoming invisible, or even replaceable. Maybe you notice fewer opportunities, more demands, less recognition, and more tools taking care of the tasks you used to do. So it is. You're not imagining it. Artificial intelligence is already changing the job market, and it's not something that will happen in the future. It's happening now, silently, every day, behind the scenes of companies, systems, and decisions that don't appear in the news. According to the World Economic Forum, by 2030, more than 85 million jobs in the world must disappear because of automation and AI. But there is something even more serious. Most of these jobs are held by women. Yes, women like you and me, who work with service, support, marketing, education, human resources, functions that are among the most vulnerable to replacement by artificial intelligence. And maybe you're living in that moment right now. Maybe you've noticed colleagues being shut down. Maybe you felt like your routine was changing little by little, without anyone asking you anything. Or perhaps you are feeling discomfort that is difficult to explain. You see the changes, but no one is telling you what to do with it. And that's exactly why this video exists. This video is not about scaring you. It's about waking you up. Because while there are a lot of people waiting for things to get better, there are others who have already understood that the world has changed and are moving. They are studying, experimenting with new ways of working, learning to use AI as an ally, not an enemy. Because the problem, it's not AI. The problem is ignore what's happening. It's pretending that nothing will change. Or worse, it's thinking you can't do anything about it. But I'm here to show you that it can. You can turn this game around. You can reposition yourself. You can pivot with strategy, with clarity, and with intelligence. And the best, you don't need to be in technology for this. You just need to understand what is at risk and what can you do to get ahead. In this video, I will show you what are the jobs whose days are numbered, why are these functions being replaced, and how you can act now before your role ends up on that list. 2. The future will not give you warning. It has already started, and the question is no longer, will AI affect my career? The right question is, am I ready to reinvent myself before that happens? If you're here with me now, it's because it's ready, and I will show you the way. Now that you understand the gravity of the change that is happening, and that it is no longer something distant, but part of our daily reality, we need to talk clearly about which jobs are actually numbered. And yes, this might hurt a little, but it is necessary. Why understand what is at risk? It's the first step to getting out of inertia and protect yourself. Be repositioned. And above all, value yourself in a way that AI will never be able to replace. Let's get straight to the point. According to the World Economic Forum, McKinsey, and several other institutions that closely monitor the future of work, these are some of the jobs that are expected to be replaced, partially or completely, by 2030. Customer service, administrative functions, front desk, marketing assistants, HR, operations, supermarket cashiers, telemarketing, data processing, CV screening, document review, travel agents, and even roles in basic education and technical support. And what do all these works have in common? They follow routines, rules, clear and repetitive steps. These are positions that were structured based on execution, of repetition, from control, and therefore, they are easy targets for artificial intelligence. Why? Because AI doesn't sleep. Don't make mistakes. Don't be anxious. You don't need a vacation. And he learns very quickly. It can analyze data, answer questions, automate processes, and even create content in minutes. It's hard to say this, but it's real. Any activity that can be automated will be. And here comes the most delicate part. The vast majority of these positions are held by women. Women who come from a solid professional background, but that, in many cases, did not have direct contact with technology. Women who always did the best with what they had, that they learned in practice, who got their hands dirty. And now they are seeing all of this being threatened, with no one to explain what is happening. Maybe you are one of them. Maybe you are right now feeling like something is wrong, that your work is no longer seen with the same value, that the people around you are being turned off, that some functions are disappearing, and new tools are appearing but you have no idea how to use them. And that feeling of fear, of insecurity, of not knowing where to start. It is more common than it seems, and totally legit. But what I want to tell you with all of this is this. This is not the end. It's a warning, an invitation, an opportunity to act before let it be late. Because at the same time that AI is replacing functions, she is to opening new doors, creating new demands, and valuing professionals who know how to do something that machines cannot yet do. Think, connect, create with empathy, analyze sensitively, solve real problems, and mainly, knowing how to use technology as support, not as a threat. Today, the market is asking for something very specific. Professionals who know how to combine the human side with the digital side. And the woman who learns this gains a huge competitive advantage. And I know what you might be thinking right now, but I'm not in technology. I was never good at that stuff. It's already too late for me. And let me tell you with all the sincerity in the world, it is not. You don't need to be technical. You don't need to know how to program. You don't need to become a robotics expert. What do you need is learning to communicate with AI, give the right commands, know how to ask, know how to direct. Today, tools like ChatGPT, Notion AI, Canva IA, and many others are transforming the way we work. And who knows how to use these tools clearly, with intention, with strategy, becomes a reference. I have seen this happen every day. Women who were assistants and now work as strategists. Women who were overworked now use AI to optimize their routine and produce in half the time. Women who never imagined working in technology, and today they sell digital services, create their own products, provide consultancy, or even became a reference in their areas. And do you know what they all have in common? They decided to act. Even scared, even starting from scratch, even without knowing if it would work. They took the first step, and they learned in the process. And you can too. But this requires a choice, a change of mindset, a movement to leave the comfort zone and say, I'm not going to wait for this to knock on my door. I'll get ahead of myself. And it's not about abandoning everything. It's not about throwing your career in the trash. It's about repositioning, fit, to update, so that you continue to be valuable, relevant, and necessary in the new market. Because what AI cannot, and may never achieve, is to replace real experience, the human gaze, empathy, listening, lively creativity, intuitive thinking. She executes. But who leads? And you, just to lead, you need to understand the new game logic and prepare for it. And that's exactly what I'm going to show you from now on. In the next part, I will show you what is the most valued skill in this new scenario and how you can start developing this skill today with what you already have, where you are. But before that, I want you to stop for a second and ask yourself honestly, if your job changed tomorrow, would you be ready? Would you know what to do? Or would I be lost, trying to chase after the door has already closed? This question could change everything. And if you've made it this far, I'm sure you already know the answer. Then follow me, because in the next block, we're going to talk about a solution of strategy and how you can reinvent yourself intelligently, safely, and with power. Now that you know which jobs are under threat and understood that the risk is real, the time has come to talk about what really matters, the solution, because staying stuck in fear doesn't solve it. Waiting for the market to go back to the way it was, it's not going to happen. And ignoring all of this, it could be very expensive. But the good news is that you no need to start over from scratch. You no need to become a programmer. And most importantly, you don't need to quit your job now to start preparing. What you need is to understand one thing. The way we work is changing, and whoever adapts first leads. So let's go. The first major turning point is this one. You don't need to compete with artificial intelligence. You need to learn to command it. Yes, that's right. AI is not a replacement. She is a tool. But it only works well in the hands of those who know how to ask for what they want. And this is where the most important skill of the new economy comes in. Know how to talk to artificial intelligence. Today, those who know how to use AI with clarity, purpose, and strategy has a huge advantage in the market. And we're not talking about technical language. We are talking about communication. Knowing how to ask the right questions. Knowing how to direct tasks. Knowing how to use tools like ChatGPT, Notion AI, Canva IA, among others, to automate, create, think, organize, and execute more intelligently. This ability has a name. It is called prompt engineering, or prompt engineering. But calm down. The name is scary, but the practice is simple. You don't need to study programming. You don't need to understand codes. You just need to learn how to structure sentences strategically so that the AI delivers exactly what you need. Want an example? Imagine that you work in customer service and need to answer customers all day. You can create a series of personalized autoresponders using AI in a humane, kind, and efficient way, and this cuts your time in half. Or let's say you make content for social media. You can use AI to generate post ideas, right? Captions, organize your content calendar, all this in minutes. Now think with me. What would you do if you could gain back 2, 3, or 4 hours of your day? Every day, more time, more focus, more clarity. That's what this skill gives you, and more. The market is already hiring women who know how to do this. Companies are looking for professionals who are not technical, but what they know how to use technology intelligently. Because they produce more, they think better, they stand out, they deliver with speed, and they solve problems. And then you might be thinking, but how am I going to learn this on my own? I don't have time for an expensive course. Is it for me? And the answer is, yes, it's for you. You can start with simple things, testing, exploring, playing with tools. Today, Most AI tools are free or have trial versions. You can open ChatGPT right now, for example, and type, "Create a list of content ideas for women who want to start an online business, even if they have little time and little money." Ready. In seconds, you'll have personalized ideas that you can adjust, transform, apply, and over time, you will become more precise, clearer, more strategic. This is how you learn. Using. You make a mistake, try again, find out what works, and turn it into a routine. And then, without realizing it, you start using AI as an ally, not to replace your work, but to improve your performance, reduce effort, increase results, earn more, work less, and little by little, it starts to reposition you. You become a reference. You deliver more value. You gain confidence. And when you see, it no longer depends on the old way of working. You already understand the new game, and it is playing on equal terms with whoever is leading this market. And do you know which is best? All this can start without leaving where you are. You can continue in your current job and learn little by little, applying little by little, preparing intelligently, because when, and it's not if, it's when, your job title starts to change, you'll be ready with new skills, with a new mindset, with new possibilities, and that is priceless. You will no longer depend on luck, not even from the boss, not do RH, nor the algorithm. It will depend on you, of what you built, what you decided to learn before the crisis hit. This is freedom. This is security. This is real protagonism. And if you've made it this far, it's because you're ready for it. Then in the next block, I will. Professional life, it won't come from outside. She will start in you, and she can start today. Now that you understand what the most important skill is for those who want to stay relevant in this new market, the question that remains is, when are you going to start using this to your advantage? Because the truth is simple, time is passing, and whoever has already started came out ahead. AI is no longer a distant trend. It is being implemented now, within companies, on platforms. You already show you how to put this into practice. I'll give you a simple way to get started and show you that there's still time to turn this game around, with intelligence, with lightness, and with autonomy. But first, I want you to reflect on one thing. If you keep doing the same things, in the same way, for another 1, 2, 3 years, what will change? Will you be safer, happier, more confident? Or will you continue with that silent fear to be left behind? The change you want in your use, in the banking system, in schools, on social media, on your own cell phone. And the longer you postpone your move, the greater the chance of being overtaken. Not by someone younger, not by someone more experienced, but by someone who understood how to use AI as an ally. And that person may have less career time than you, less training, less experience, but if she knows how to use the right tool, the right way, she will be chosen. And you know it. You've seen this happen. You know that colleague who seemed ordinary? Suddenly, she started to stand out, being called to meetings, receive compliments, gain more visibility, and all she did was learn a new skill, update the way to deliver value, and show that he knew how to keep up with the market. And that's what the market wants now. People who deliver. What resolves, that accelerates. And that's why wait, it's so dangerous. 'Cause the longer you wait, the harder it gets to follow. More doors are closing. More opportunities pass right in front of you, and you might not even notice. But it is already being left out. Not because you're not good, but because the world has changed, and you still haven't moved on him. And here's something that few people talk about. The positions that are being most affected by artificial intelligence are precisely those that seemed safe. Administration, marketing, service, support, RH, education, areas dominated by women. Women who carry knowledge, sensitivity, vision, but they were often left aside when talking about technology. But now you can no longer ignore it. Why AI is replacing those who do repetitive work, and it is valuing those who know how to think, plan, to create, direct. And do you know who has what it takes to take over this position? You. If you already have a repertoire, you already know how the real world works. You who carry emotional baggage and vision of the future. What's missing is to adjust the rudder. It's taking this step towards a new way of working, lighter, more strategic, more connected to what the world needs now. And you know what bothers me most? See incredible women with enormous potential stopped waiting for the best moment. But let me tell you a truth. The best moment was yesterday, the second best, and now. Because the window of opportunity is still open. There's still time for you to learn, be positioned. Start applying this new skill before it becomes standard. Because when it becomes standard, will no longer be a differentiator. It will be a prerequisite. And whoever hasn't moved yet, you'll need to chase it. I do not despair. Under pressure. No time to breathe. And you don't deserve that. You deserve to choose. Get ahead. Be ready before everyone else. And yes, there's still time, but not for long. You have companies that already require the use of AI in job descriptions. There are professionals who are already being paid just to optimize processes with artificial intelligence. There are businesses that are growing 3 times more simply because they knew how to apply AI strategically. And do you know what that means? That opportunities are opening up, but not for everyone. They are opening up to those who already understand the game. For those who don't wait, for those who act. And that's why I'm here, recording this video. Because I know you could be one of those women. But for that, you need to decide now. Yes, now. It's not after work. It's not next month. It's not when there's time left. Why there's no time left? We need to decide to use what we have, however we can. It's best to start small now, than expecting to have everything and never start. And look, no one is asking you to change everything overnight. What I'm inviting you to do is take a first step. Test, explore, notice. Allow yourself to leave your comfort zone with strategy and intelligence. This step can be simple. Open ChatGPT, write a command, test a new approach in your work, apply a new idea, study for 15 minutes a day. This is what builds repositioning. It's not a big turnaround. It's a sequence of small movements, made with intention, with courage, with vision. And you have it all in there. You just need to activate it. Now, before going to the next block, I want you to stop and think about the following. If you continue exactly as you are, doing everything the same for another 6 months, what will change? Will you be safer, more valued, more prepared, or you'll be even more tired, more pressure, and with fewer options? The answer, you already know. And if you already know, so now is the time to act. Because the market is changing, Technology is advancing, and the time doesn't stop for anyone. The only thing you can control, it's how you decide to respond to it all. And I believe your answer may be intelligent, brave, and strategic. In the next block, I will show you how to consolidate all of this into real action. How to use this moment as a turning point in your professional life, and how to create a new route. A route where you lead, decide, and you never feel like you're chasing again. But for that, you have to come with me until the end, because it is at the end that the turning point happens. If you made it this far with me, it's because something inside you already understands. You already recognized it. You've already realized that you can't wait any longer. Maybe it's fear. Maybe it's that silent discomfort you've been carrying for months. Or maybe it's that desire to change. But he never had space, nor courage, nor time. Now you know what's at risk, what is changing, what needs to happen. And most important of all, you know there's still time, but not for long. You can continue in the same place, doing the same things, repeating the same cycle. Or you can take the first step today with what you have. Any way you can. It doesn't have to be perfect. It needs to be real and constant. If you put everything we talk about here into practice, if you start to observe your market with different eyes, if you start using AI smartly, you will stand out. It will save time, clarity, positioning, and freedom. But if you leave it for later, it's quite possible that a year from now, you are in the same place, or worse, no place. This is the time to act, to think about your next phase, to create your own path, because no one is going to do it for you. And now, I want to extend an invitation to you. If this video made sense to you, leave it here in the comments. What is the first action you will take from today? It doesn't have to be anything grand. Just one step, a change of mindset, a test with a tool, a conversation with someone who can guide you, a decision, right here, commits to you, and show other women that they are also ready to reposition themselves. And of course, subscribe to the channel, because in the next video, I will show you 3 real ways to pivot your career with the help of artificial intelligence, even if you don't have training in the area, even if you are starting from scratch, even if you still don't know exactly where you want to go. We are going to talk about real opportunities, growing areas, ways to make money, to be valued, to create independence. Because your future does not depend on the market. It depends on your decision today. And if you stayed this far, it's because this decision has already started to happen within you. Now it's time to act. Then take a deep breath. Come back to this video if you need to. Share with a friend who is at the same stage as you. And get ready, because the next step, this is where you start to turn the tide. See you in the next video.